What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph! I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight! Okay, not exactly a new band. I mean, I've done a song for these guys, so this is not a new band. I got a request here from Jose Flores. Jose Flores wanted to watch me react to a song from Alice in Chains called Man in the Box. Now, let's be honest here, folks. Who hasn't heard this song? Seriously, is there really a person alive on this planet that has not heard this song? Because if there's anybody who's got the guts to say they actually haven't heard this song before, by mistake even, I question their integrity. I do. I question their honesty. Maybe not to all of us, but at least to themselves. Be honest to yourself, if nothing else, okay? So, have I heard this song before? Duh, of course I've heard this song before. I'm actually a pretty big Alice in Chains fan. So, here's the deal. This is a live performance from 2011. I'm not going to be grading or judging or evaluating or reacting to the song in any way, shape, or form because I already know it. I am strictly going to be reacting to the performance, okay? So when I give my score at the end, please keep that in mind. Okay, so this was originally posted by Rick Mord, R-I-C-M-O-R-D, Rick Mord. Sure, let's go with that. And it has 82,035 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Alice in Chains, Man in the Box, live from Machinata, or Machinaria, I guess? I don't know. Terrible with these names. I stink with names, man. I really do. Anyway, this is back in 2011. Alrighty. Alright, boy, let's do this.
Alright, boy, let's do this!
Pause. Okay, before the chorus starts. Alright, first impressions. I've never seen them live with this new lead singer. I've never seen them before with this guy. It's interesting. People are always going to make the comparisons to new lead singers versus old lead singers / original lead singers. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's look at the Misfits, okay? One of my favorite bands. Started off with Glenn Danzig. They had a couple of albums they put out with Glenn, and everybody knows the Misfits with Glenn Danzig. Now, Glenn Danzig left the Misfits. He wasn't fired. He chose to leave because he wanted to pursue a darker road. He wanted to pursue a more evil sound. That's why he went and he formed Sam Hain. Now, that left the Misfits in a bit of a rut because they don't have a lead vocalist. And they took a long hiatus until they finally found one in the form of Michael Graves. Most of the Misfits fans, I would say 90% of the Misfits fans, to be perfectly honest with you, myself included, I'm just as guilty here. We never gave Michael Graves a real chance. We didn't. And it's a shame. That's an absolute shame on us. That is absolutely 100% our fault. Because we were so obsessed with, without Glenn, it's not the Misfits. Yeah, it is. It's still the Misfits. They're still playing the Misfits songs. It's still Jerry Only on bass. It's still Monster Man on guitar. You know, now the drummer changed. When they had Michael Graves, they got Dr. Chud on there. So, a new drummer. But, I mean, basically it was still the core group. So, why this animosity toward Michael Graves? I don't know. And I'm just as guilty. I don't have a reason. I never gave him a chance until I finally did give him a chance. And I was like, this guy ain't too bad. This guy sings better than Glenn does. He's got a better range. He's got more control over his voice. Oh my God, he's actually a better singer. Shame on me for not giving him a try. Unfortunately, we're faced with the same situation here with Alice in Chains. A lot of people make that comparison to this guy, and they say, if it's not Lane, it's not Alice in Chains. I'm not going to stand here and try to say who's right and who's wrong. All I'm going to say is this. Don't sit here and crucify the new guy just because he's not the original guy. Give him a chance. Give him a shot. Give him an honest-to-goodness chance with an open mind, no prejudice, no preconceptions. Just give the guy an honest-to-goodness shot. You might find you might like him even better. Just saying. Anyway, let's keep going. Again. All right. Like I said, I'm not grading the song, so don't ask me to comment on the song. I'm not going to do it. The musicians are playing the song correctly. I will say that. Everything sounds good on the song end. I am trying my best to like this singer. I'm trying my best. I'm keeping an open mind. I'm trying to give him a chance. He's not doing a bad job, okay? I want to be very clear on this. He's singing well. I don't know if I like his tone. I'll be honest with you. Jerry sounds better. I'm sorry, but he sounds better than this guy does so far. This guy's, maybe he's having a bad day. Maybe, you know, the climate change is getting to him. He sounds thin and he sounds weak. Now, like I said, maybe he's just having a bad performance, okay? But I can only base my thoughts and, for lack of a better word, my judgment on what I hear and what I see. He's being a great front man. Don't get me wrong. He's getting up to the front. He's engaging the crowd. He's moving from side to side, covering the stage, making himself, you know, present on both sides. He's doing a great job of being a physical front man. Vocally, though, it's leaving a lot to be desired. I'm going to be honest, okay? Anyway, let's keep going here. See what I mean? It was very wavery up there. I wonder if he's just having a bad day. I don't know. That was good. Oh, don't be drinking anything carbonated. That's terrible. Pause. Okay. Let's get off the singer for a little bit. I don't know who's running FOH. I have no idea, but whoever it is needs to be shot. And I'll tell you why. I am a bassist. I love bass. I love hearing bass. Having said that, the bass is way too loud in the mix. I understand there's only two musicians. I get it. And you want to have a full sound. I get it. But when the bass player is literally burying the guitar solo, not overplaying it, burying it. That's not a good mix. And anybody who's running FOH should be able to hear that. I could barely hear Jerry's solo. Barely. And all I could hear was the bass. And don't get me wrong, I love hearing bass. I love the tone that Mike Inez is getting out of that bass right now. I love the tone. That little bit of a distortion, just a little bit of a crunch on it, with a lot of punch and high end, along with a lot of bottom end. No mids. I love that. I love that tone. But for God's sakes, on the guitar solo especially, the guitar solo's got to come up. He's got to come up in volume. And I'm not hearing that. So, whoever's running FOH right now is a hack and needs to be fired.
I want someone fired!
Let's keep going. We got about a minute. Let's finish this. Oh. Here comes that wavering. There it comes. Okay, that wasn't as bad as the second one. sustaining was a little disorganized. Jerry stopped, Mike kept sustaining, drummer stopped, vocalist kept sustaining. It's like who's got it? Who's doing it right and who's not? Oh boy, not a good performance. I'm gonna be honest with you. This was not a good performance at all. Well, there you go, folks. That was Alice in Chains with a live performance of Man in the Box from 2011. This was a request from Jose Flores. Okay, I gave this one some thought, and I had to take a couple of things into consideration here. I had to kind of retract a couple of the things I said. Not a lot, but I had to kind of retract a couple of the things I said. Let me first give the score, and then I'll explain why. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave this a 5.2. Yeah, 5.2. I feel good with that score. I do. Let me tell you why.
Why?
This was not a good performance. I'm going to be honest with you. But a lot of it wasn't Alice in Chains' fault. And that's why I was originally going to give this like a 4.3. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, my initial score, my first gut instinct was 4.3. But then I really had to kind of sit back and I had to evaluate why it was going so low. Was I impressed with the drumming? It was solid. I wouldn't say it was impressive, but it was solid. He played the parts right, okay? So he did it. The drummer did a good job playing the parts right. The bassist, Mike Inez, he played his parts right. He's even jumping in on a couple of the backing vocals, doubling up on Jerry's part. Jerry Cantrell's guitar playing, spot on. You know, sounded good, sounded really good. His vocals, really good. I really liked Jerry's backing vocals and his harmonies. As a matter of fact, for me personally, that was the highlight of the show, was hearing Jerry sing. Williams' vocals. Boy, I don't know. I would have to see more of him live before I can really make a, definitive judgment. I can only base it on what I just saw, and what I just saw was not a very good performance. He has a really hard time hitting those high notes. He really does, and he's very wavery. He'll get it, and then it wavers because he's not able to sustain it and just hold the note because he's struggling to maintain it. So he's losing control. When he's not in that upper note, when he's in the lower register notes, he's fine. His tone is his tone, but his pitch is on, which is much better. I will say this. I don't know if I'm a fan of William or not. I would have to see more of him, to be pretty honest with you. I don't want to make a snap judgment of whether I like him or not based on one performance. I will say this. I'm not that impressed with his tone when he's singing by himself. He sounds a little thin. It sounds a little weak. But I do love, I'm saying I love this. I love how his voice blends with Jerry Cantrell's. Their two voices blend together and mesh together really well. So, why the 5.2 instead of the 4.3? One of my biggest gripes was the mix. It was the fact that the bass was just too loud. And that's coming from a bass player. I love hearing bass. I don't love hearing that much bass. No offense. But that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. It did. Now, I was originally putting the blame on Alice in Chains for that. That's an FOH issue. I can't really blame Alice in Chains for that. They're playing at an outdoor festival. They probably have one sound guy who's been hired by the promoter to run FOH for every single band that steps on that stage. I don't know if he doesn't know how to mix for a 4-piece or he's just used to having more instruments or what, but that guy needs to go back to engineering school. He needs to learn how to mix and what to listen for, because that was not a good FOH mix at all. But again, that's his fault. It's not Alice in Chains' fault. And that's why they went up from a 4.3 to a 5.2. The performance overall was okay. I wasn't thrilled. I don't think it was great. I don't even think it was really good. I don't even think it was pretty good. It was okay. Lead vocalist, weak. Bass, not his fault, but still loud. Drummer was solid. I mean, everybody was solid. Everybody was okay, except Jerry. Jerry was a little more than okay. Jerry was actually really good, especially his backing vocals. But everything else was just like par, or in the vocalist case, subpar. So that's why it's getting the 5.2. It was an okay performance. So 5.2, final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you did enjoy the show and you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to join the fan base by clicking on that button down there. Yeah, you know the button I'm talking about. Click on that button, join the fan base, and become one of us. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't feel like clicking on that button, that's okay. I still respect you. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It will do me a world of good, and it will do you absolutely no harm whatsoever. Finally, if you guys do join the fan base, you will find a bell down there that you can click on. By clicking on this bell, it will keep you up to date on everything happening with this channel, including when new content gets dropped. So, if you want to stay in the know, click on the bell, and you'll stay in the know. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.